Another one.
Yeah, Jason. Hey friends, we have just posted a new video for you to watch about the culture of the high country. We hope you will like it, we hope you will subscribe, and we hope you will forward it to your friends. Well, hey Ken, how you doing?
Good morning, Alton. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. So Jason, we're here with Ken Walters, and he is the
Good morning. Good morning.
He is the chairman of the Avery County Agricultural
Cooperative Extension Advisory Council.
Thank you for that. I wasn't going to get all that out. You could tell, couldn't you?
It's a mouthful. It's a mouthful.
And so tell us what that's all about right quick.
Well, what I really would like to do is to introduce Jerry Moody, who is the director of Avery County Cooperative Extension, because he's the man and his team that do the incredible job for Avery County.
Hey, Jerry.
How's it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hey, Jerry.
How's it going, Joe?
So, Jerry, you're going to give us an overview of everything that the agricultural committee that Ken's on does.
Some of our employees are with NC State, and then some of our employees are with NC State University.
In Greensboro.
In Greensboro.
Okay.
So we have both universities, both land grants in the state. They help provide research backing and specialists and things of that nature to help us get our job done. And so with us at Cooperative Extension, we utilize Ken and his group to help advise us on issues or needs that may come up that we don't know about. And that allows us to direct our programs more effectively and more efficiently. So that way, if they hear there's a need in the child care, hospitality, or something like that, we could provide educational programs in those areas. Or if they tell us there's a need, there's a up and coming new type of agriculture they want to look into, then we can look into that and try to do programs in those areas as well. So the advisor group is to help us stay in contact, in close contact with our clients, as well as help provide us with some support on what we need to be doing.
Continuing education always for you,
yes,
so you can pass it along.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
So
great.
Jerry, tell us about this complex you have here, because you have a fairgrounds and a garden and a building and just take it.
Well, this whole complex is called Heritage Park, and it was originally purchased by the fair, Avery County A&H Fair, back in the early 2000s. And then due to some unforeseen issues and stuff, they sold it over to the county and let the county take it over. And from that point on, we've been looking at how we can further develop the 48-acre complex. And so what we have up here is we do have community gardens out front, and then our extension office, plus the community center, plus we have the fairgrounds out back. So we have a total of 8 acres of flat ground, and then we also have another 40 acres that go through the woods. We have trails. We're trying to set up trails so people can utilize those as well. And it goes all the way down to the Humane Society down below.
Oh yeah.
So our property encompasses all that.
Okay.
It's going to be a long-term investment where the county will be able to do a whole bunch of different things up here. We look forward to the time that we get to utilize the trails more and be able to use them for teaching people what the different types of plants are, things of that nature. We also have we've started a germplasm collection of different heirloom varieties of apples, with the idea and the intention that in a few years, if you want a red sheep nose or silver banana, you can come up here and take a scion off of that and graft and have your own apple tree. So it's a lot of things going on up here. A lot of that's based on education and things of that nature. And then one of our largest programs, which we do every summer, is our Summer 4-H Wow. And our Summer 4-H Wow is a day camp that runs the whole length of the summer. So basically when the kids get out of school till the kids go back into school, they can come up here and we provide educational programs, about 3 to 4 per day. And then the kids also get fed, and they also, they learn things like they were out here the other day planting pumpkins on Pumpkin Hill. Next week we'll be teaching them how to separate cuttings and propagate plants. They also learn from my FNEP technician, Hannah Presnell, how to cook nutritious foods. They also learn from Michelle South, my livestock agent, on proper care of animals, and so they get actual hands-on experiences with these different areas. Today they've gone down to the Crawdads baseball game, and so they get to do fun things as well as educational things. But the whole point is to give them the opportunity to see things that they might not always see, and give them a thought of maybe I can do this.
How many children are you talking about?
Right now it's about 60.
Really?
Yeah, we have about 60 kids, 50 to 60 kids. When this first started back in early 1990s, 98, 99, something like that, we were pushing about 125 a day, 125 kids a day. But since that time, when we were the only summer program, complete summer program that went the whole in the county that went from beginning to end.
Right.
Now there's several opportunities for others to do this, and some of them are free, but we still have to.
And this goes on all summer, not just for 1 week.
It goes on for about this week. I guess it goes about nine and a half weeks.
Okay. Wow, that is.
So that way the parents don't have to worry about where their kids are and what their kids are doing. And they get to learn, the kids will get to learn something. They learn how to swim. They get to go to the swimming pool. And they also either go on hikes and they're safe. We're actually, I think a 4-star daycare. So we get inspected. We have to follow all these sorts of rules and regulations. But at the same time, it provides a level of safety that we wouldn't otherwise have. So it's a great program for us, and it's been going on since 1997, and hopefully it'll continue long after I'm out of here.
Okay, so this is your community garden, and I know people who've done this, and you got a gentleman down here who's going to tell us all about it. So let's walk down here and see him.
Okay, and sort of give you a little bit of history of the community garden. We first started back in early 2000s, and the idea was there was a lot of families that needed help getting food to pay for the food bill. We thought this would be a great way, one, to teach them how to grow their own food, two, how to preserve their own food. And unfortunately, over time, what has happened is that we've got a lot of people who remembered growing up farming who have come back to do farming, but it's still helping them with their food bill. And right now, I've got Mr. Bill Hoffman, who is my NCA&T Agricultural Natural Resource Agent. And he sort of oversees the garden and all the educational programs surrounding gardening. And I'll let him tell us a little bit more about it.
Bill, you work, this is part of your work.
Yes, sir.
And you help the people that he just talked about when they need advice and everything. And I saw you working on this one. Is this yours, or you just helping somebody?
No. So we have 36 of these boxes here, these raised garden beds, and it is individually a private garden. I've got 30-some members in my community garden group, and also the 4-H Summer Wow Camp here, a 9-week 4-H camp, has 4 or 5 garden beds. And yesterday we had them in here harvesting food, and they take them down to the food pantries. So they're getting that concept, got a little extra, give a little extra. So they learned about gardening. Yesterday they were eating some raw beets and onions and some peas. So they get to try some of these foods they probably haven't had in their household yet. A lot of children didn't even know where peas are coming from in a pod. But these are our raised garden beds, and I do some educational programming with them, help with identifying pest issues, fertility issues. I have specialists coming in doing a workshop from NCA&T University. So this has been really helpful for a lot of the older folks that garden with us. Many of them never even had a garden, and here they are in their 70s. And they'll spend 3 or 4 months growing something, and they're almost giddy like a child when they get to pick their first tomato.
I would,
cabbage.
I can tell you that.
Sure. So this has been real successful to get people out here gardening.
Okay, and you got water for them. Do you provide the seeds, or they do that on their own?
We provide some seed, and some vegetable starter plants. The FFA group at the high school grows our vegetable starter plants for us, and then many of the community gardeners will support our local garden centers and buy some plants themselves.
Okay, so we have these 2 trees here, and you're going to explain those to us. What in the world do we have here?
Okay, so yeah, the first variety here, I have pretty much 2 of each variety. This is the Espa Spitzenberg, and this is a heirloom apple, a couple hundred years old. This was actually Thomas Jefferson's favorite apple. It was planted all over his orchard and his estate. So, here we have heirloom apple trees, and this DNA, the genetics in these trees are the same that was in the apple trees on his. And of course, we get to duplicate and clone these trees through a process of grafting. And we teach grafting classes here, bench grafting techniques. And so we're able to take end of a twig, and we call this a scion, and we actually will graft that onto a rootstock, an apple rootstock. So the top of the tree is the exact same apple as the limb we took off the scion. And then the rootstock is something different. The rootstock imparts a lot of abilities for the tree, how fast it grows, how well it puts on fruit, helps impart some disease resistance. But so we have this heirloom apple tree orchard here. We started approximately 7-8 years ago.
Okay, so at Crossing Order, there's 40 different kinds, I believe you said.
About 26 varieties, 40 some trees.
40 trees, and how many do you have here?
I've got approximately 24 trees here, 12, 13 varieties. And then this orchard continues around the back of the property.
Now, will this be like Crossing Order that you can come in, public can come and pick them an apple, or is this just for education?
I think that's our eventual goal. Right now, the apples we're using for our own programming here, educational programming.
Right.
But last year we had the public in here picking many of the apples. And I do my pruning and training classes here in this orchard now. So this has proved to be a real big win for us for educational. About the honeybees? Mm-hmm. So we have just reintroduced a colony of honeybees. We have a hive back here behind our building. So a couple years ago when Helene came through, of course, it destroyed a lot of habitat for our native bees also. And so we had the 4-H kids build bee hotels last year, and we actually got them filled up with a lot of native bee larvae. And then, of course, the honeybees introduced this year help with pollination.
Okay, so this is the big room you were telling us about.
Yes.
And we're going to come in here and take a look at it, and you can say everything we need to know.
Okay. Originally, this facility was built and finished November of 2020. And our first event here, we couldn't have a grand opening because of COVID. So our first event here was a vaccination of 5,000 people.
Okay.
During the time of COVID, which was a better grand opening than anything because everyone saw the facility. And basically we have an indoor stage, we have a green room, we have all the chairs and tables in there, we have 3 large screen TVs, and this was set up for sound. Now, when we're in the process of developing this, the engineer said you can have sound or you can have multiple rooms, you can't have both. And so we decided we needed to have a location where we could have concerts, speeches, talks, whatever, and you could hear everything. Because most of the places in the county that can house 100 people are usually church gyms and things like that, which may not necessarily help with the sound. So this facility can hold up to 274 people legally, and we can have perfect sound there. We've had a lot of different concerts here. We use it for the fair. And in fact, we kind of keep a running total of how many people utilize the facility by when you sign up for it, you estimate how many people you're going to have in your group. And so that way we have a running total. And with the exception of the year of COVID, when no one could do anything, we were averaging right around 20 to 25,000 people utilizing this facility a year for birthdays, for weddings. We've had 3 funerals out here. Educational meetings from us.
Jerry, how does somebody get a hold of you? What's your phone number and email?
Okay, if you want to rent this place, you can call our office at 828-733-8270 and talk with Kim Davis, and she schedules and rents out this facility and other parts of the facility. Because the idea is that not only can you rent this out, but if you want to have a car show out there in the green grass, you can hold it out there. If you want to utilize the trails, when we get those completed, we'll rent those out as well. And the cost is pretty minimal. The cost is just what it costs us to clean up. Now, we do ask for a deductible in case you break something, but for the most part, you're paying for just the cost of cleanup because this is taxpayer dollars, and the commissioners want to make sure that everyone who wants to use this building can. So it's actually been a great facility because we have double doors over there, big old pocket doors. So that way, the idea was I originally wanted to, if we wanted to have a car show, then we could bring the cars in here. And stuff along those lines. And originally the flooring was going to be an acid wash flooring, but I lost. That's the one thing I lost. They wanted LVT on it. So we have this room right here, again, based upon what people wanted. They wanted the place where you could have concerts, wanted a place where you have educational, wanted a place to be able to watch TVs and everything else. And so that's what we have here. So in our facility, we were hoping to be able to get a certified kitchen. Unfortunately, we don't have a certified kitchen, but we do have a kitchen where if you had an event out here, you can bring your food in and keep it warm and serve it out of. And the
Nutrition classes are
The
here?
nutrition classes are held in here, and unfortunately, we have automatic lights in every room. So you walk into every room, it'll light up. So this was part of the request from folks. Where can we have classes on how to cook properly? Where can we have gatherings and things of that nature? So all this was set up for that. Now one thing we did get it certified for was you can extract your honey here.
So you're going to take us down here and show us the fairgrounds and explain what happens down here.
Yeah, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about the history of this whole facility. Originally about 2014, 2015, we started looking into developing our extension office up here, and we actually got the School of Design at Raleigh at NC State to come up here and to ask community members what they want, ask the stakeholders what they needed, what they wanted, and everything you see up here is based upon those design study they did.
You use the term stakeholder?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Stakeholder is anyone who pays taxes.
Okay.
So
Actually, in the internet business, it's anybody who has any kind of connection.
yeah. So they came up here and like they said, we need to have a place for an arena. Well, we have a place for an arena. We need to have an outdoor stage. And right here, as we get to the end of the building, there's an outdoor stage.
I've been on it.
Yep. And then they said we need a place for the fair to continue on. So we have all this facility out here. So right now what you're looking at is the beginnings of a arena that a Christian gardener is working on, and we applied for a couple of grants to try to put in a complete arena. And the idea behind that arena is that a lot of our kids who ride horses have to travel long distances to be able to ride horses in competitions. And we thought, even though we're not going to be able to compete with locations like Tryon and other facilities like that, we can still provide an opportunity for our youth to come up here and ride their horses, do all the rodeo stuff, and gain experience and get it, be able to practice. And so we've applied for a grant through the NCDA Ag Farmland Preservation and Development Fund, and hopefully, if we get it, we'll be able to put a 200 by 120 arena, which is about what you're seeing out there. It's a little bit longer, and a little bit wider. But the idea behind that is that it'll be just like this building here, it's going to be a multi-purpose facility.
Okay.
In that if we need to store, one of the problems we had during Helene was that we have 2 warehouses in this county.
Right.
And so we really didn't have a good secure place to store items. So this arena will have the ability to store items such as food or clothes or farming supplies and things of that nature, and it'll be up here where we're at, and instead of
Down where the floods are.
down where the floods are.
So here, will you have stables or stalls?
No.
No stalls either?
No.
Okay.
Well, we'll have the arena. We'll have events. We're not, we'll be able to house animals during the fair like we normally do with the
Coming
panels.
on trailers and live
Yes.
on trailers?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we don't want to start something we're gonna have horses hanging around after they leave.
Yeah.
But no, so this whole facility, everything you see out here is based upon people said, oh, we need to have this. We need to have an arena. Okay, we eventually got it. We need to have a greenhouse where we're putting one up down there. We need to have trails for people to walk on. We're still working on that. We need to have a community center. That's what we have here. And,
Right.
the community center, it was going to be a one complete building, and then the price hit, and they're like, well, we can't do it. So what I was talking with the architects, I was like, go ahead and plan that we're going to have a whole building, extension side and community center. Just show us half of it. But what I wanted to make sure of is that we didn't design one half where you have to redesign it to get the second half on.
So Ken and all his committee were in on this with you helping.
Yes,
get
I mean
feedback.
they were part of it. All of our community advisors were part of that. Each of my agents have a programmatic committee that tells them, here, you need to worry about this, and then Ken's committee is sort of the umbrella over the entire organization.
Yeah.
So everyone gave up their ideas of what we thought we needed, and so a lot of those ideas that were repeated amongst several people, we said, okay, we need to do this. And so
this has been an unbelievable tour and facilities, and it's mind-boggling how much different stuff that you're involved in doing.
Mm-hmm.
So the question that comes to my mind is what percentage of the general public maybe understands what you do here?
So A lot of folks do know us, and the one thing I found out is with the community center, as more people have come up to use the community center, either because it's a granddaughter's birthday or it's because it's someone's wedding, they say, "Oh, you have this up here." So we have all of our information. So as they walk in, they get to learn more about us. And one thing I would say is that all this is happening because I have such a great staff, from Kim and Carrie, the AAs, to Bill, my A&R, to Michelle, my livestock agent, to Alicia Woody, who is my 4-H program technician, to Josie Leverett, who is my 4-H agent, to Hannah Presnell, who is my F&F technician. All of us work together to provide this programming and activities for the youth, adults, and everyone in the county. And we couldn't do it alone, and it takes everyone. We have if Hannah has a meeting, I might have to be there to help her do stuff, or vice versa. And we all work as a team, and I think that's what makes us successful. And this building is another example of that teamwork. And to me, it shows the wise how wise the commissioners are to invest in something like this, because where would we have had the EOC if we didn't have this? Because everything else was flooded. I was high and dry.
The whole county.
And I have 2 generators up here that run everything. So we were as working as normal as you could in a situation like that. But that room out there had over 250 people in it each day because of what's going on up here. And I think that's what allowed us to respond more quickly, because if there was a problem with the roads, I could walk over to that table where the Department of Transportation was at and say, "Hey, we have this problem." And actually, that's one of the things that happened, is that on about September 30th, October 1st, I reminded everybody in 40 days we'd be moving, 500,000, 750,000 trees out of this county on tractor trailers, and they had not even thought about that. So we quickly were able to triage the roads because of that. And I don't think that would have happened if I had been, because there was no communication. I had to drive over there.
There was not. Yeah.
So it allowed us to make decisions more better informed decisions more quickly. So all in all, this facility has been a godsend for the county. And whether you're a fair goer, whether you're a tree grower, whether you're a vegetable gardener, or whether you're a 4-H kid, this building has allowed us to make a bigger impact upon the lives of Avery County.
Thank you so much, Jerry, for sharing all this with us. It's unbelievable, and I don't know how much all of that I can retain, but I'll try.
Well, thank you for coming up here. We appreciate it. Come back and visit us.
We will.
Hey, Alton,
Yeah, man.
what did you think of Jerry Moody and Bill Hoffman over there at the Ag Center, man?
Well, I might say something like this. If I'd known all that information they were going to give us before I went out there, I might have drilled a hole in my head and took a thumb. It was mind-boggling. It was so much stuff that they do there, and I had no idea. I knew they consulted with farmers, and I knew they had a little garden place. But all this stuff he was talking about, the kids with the camp.
Yeah.
My gosh, that was something. And I'm sure there's stuff he didn't get to. I mean, I just know there is.
Yeah.
So that was just an unbelievable learning experience.
And how about Kenny, too?
Well, he talked just as much. He is very enthusiastic about what he did. Now, are we talking about Ken Walters, or are we talking about Bill?
Ken Walters.
Oh, Ken Walters, yeah. Well, I've known Ken for a long time. He is a remarkable human being, very involved. And you know what kind of flips my wig about Ken is he's from upstate New York. And he has moved down here and fit right in, and he is on all kind of county committees and all kinds of stuff. And it just amazes me, because most of the people that, like us, and not like you, but like us, me and my wife, that move here and move in, we're kind of a little selfish. We just kind of live in our own little world. And boy, Ken is not that way. Absolutely.
Some people from upstate New York are not fitting the Yankee profile, as it were.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bud.
See you next time, buddy.
Yeah, man.